It tells
You look
me
amazing.
gorgeous. I appreciate you for that. You know,
Dude, you do. You look glowing.
you do as well. Look at those glasses on you. Are they thicker glasses than the last time I saw you?
Yeah, they're a little bit thicker. I'm just trying to be, it's me Buddy Ollie look.
I like it. It works for you. It works for you. How are you, gorgeous man? What's going on?
I'm a bit on cloud nine, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm just really excited all the time.
Yeah, good. This is a normal young blood situation, but why is it a particularly exciting time for you, Dominic?
Because the album's going out! Ah! I know, bro. I'm just like, what the hell? I know, but I'm like a little floppy man. Like, the album's coming out. We're announcing Oz tour. It's like so close around the corner. And I'm just like, I just can't wait for everyone to hear this record.
Yeah. You know what? It was so wonderful to wake up this morning and have an announcement of a tour from Yungblud. You know, you don't expect these things at the moment. I don't expect any kind of sort of, you know, finite timing on things, but you're confident that you can come to Australia in around 10 months from now. Tell me why.
I've just been like, obviously, like there's a vaccine in the works, and I've just kind of been advised like that it definitely would go ahead. They believe, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, fuck it. If no one else is, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna give people hope. I'm gonna give people an opportunity because people fucking need it right now, and I'm gonna do it. And God forbid it doesn't happen. I'll take the flak for it. But fuck it, man. Everyone needs to feel like they're together right now.
Yeah, it's the moment that I've been waiting for. It's the moment I've been wanting for a long time. And as soon as I saw it this morning, I was like, fuck yes, life is worth it.
Dude, and those venues, they're crazy. They're big boy rooms. I'm like, wow.
Dude, I mean, we take it back to when you and I first met. That was
in a pub.
Yeah, in a pub in London to like
in London.
maybe 30 people, if that.
Scattered about at the bar. And then you in the middle losing your shit. You had blonde hair back then.
I had blonde hair back then. And I've made a smart decision. How's your hair dye going? Are you liking the red at the moment?
Bro, I'm loving the red. That's the thing. It's like everyone freaked out. I put a beanie on the other day. And everyone's like, you dyed your hair back to black. Why? I was like, okay, fair. It's staying for a little bit longer then.
I like it. It's nice on you. It works.
It's the vibe.
Why don't we take it back then? If we're doing an album sort of chat, let's take it back to when you and I first met, which was pre-King Charles, pre I Love You, Will You Marry Me?
Yeah.
You know, very early days. I still remember the first time you and I met. What would you say to that person right now? What conversation would you have with that Dom from 3-4 years ago right now?
I mean, wow, yeah. I would legitimately just be like, I know you keep fighting with your instincts because a lot of people aren't getting it right now, and they never will get it right now, and they probably won't get it anyway. But just keep pushing and keep fighting and just keep the idea of bringing people together in your mind, because those people who don't get it right now will be forced to get it in about 18 months' time.
Exactly. Dom, and then you bring these people together. You bring this community in.
Dude, and that's the weird thing about it was just like when that first album came out, yes, it was so angry, but it was legitimately like, hello, is there anyone out there that is anything remotely like me? Because if there's not, I'm literally going to jump out a window. You know what I mean? And like, it was like, fuck me, man. It turned out there's a lot of people out there like me. And I think when you find somewhere to belong and exist as just completely unapologetically who you are, it's like you figure out you got lungs for the first time. And you kind of just go, you know what I mean? You're just kind of like, yeah, you know, and it's mad. And bro, it's just like, this album is about them. And it's about everything I've done and everything I've learned and every person I've met and every story I've been told. You know what I mean? Over the past 18 months.
Yeah. The whole thing has
Magic,
been
man.
for you. I remember when we spoke when Weird came out, the conversation was that this album was going to be about telling the stories of the misfits like you and I, who never quite managed to be fit into that box. Tell me, with the album Imminent, did it end up like that? Did you manage to tell those stories to the way
Yeah,
you wanted to?
dude, dude, it was, as I say, I love it that we always kind of keep in contact. It makes these interviews so much kind of more interesting. You saw me, if not at the beginning, probably it was this January, really, when I just started kind of putting the motion in place. I got Weird. I'd written Weird. It was there. And I wanted a record that would tell a story about the weirdest years of our lives, even if there wasn't a pandemic going on right now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, there is. So it connects to that. But I wanted to write an album about identity, gender, sexuality, love, heartbreak, depression, highs, lows, friendship, loss. I wanted to write almost like a coming of age fucking series of skins in a record that would talk about these subjects with nothing but truth and reality. I think a lot of music can have such an agenda right now. And I didn't want to write music. I don't want to write music for a motive. I want to write music for a fucking reason. And the people I've met, every kid from every continent, of every point of view, of every shape, size, color, sexuality, have given me that confidence and given me that inspiration to put their stories into this album.
Talk to me about the idea of, I feel like a lot of artists really want to just tell their own stories, their own personal stories. But for you, for a long time, I sense that it has been a case of talking to your audience about their experience. How is that kind of, yeah, how have you managed to do that?
It's just so important to me to remain tapped into my culture, and our culture. And I just think I didn't have a choice. I hear these stories that fill my fucking soul up to the brim and it's overflowing. Like, how can I not write about it? You know what I mean? It got to a point about, like, for example, like, let's take Mars. Like, Mars is probably the most important piece of work I think I've ever written. I
Mm.
believe in my water. And it's about a young trans girl I met in Maryland, America. And I can't remember what she looks like for the life of me, but I remember she had a green lipstick and a green matching duffel coat. And she told me the story that her parents just couldn't figure out that she was, and always in fact had been, their baby girl, their daughter. And her mates weren't, they thought she was going through this alienistic attention seeking phase, and her friends couldn't get her pronouns right. And she said to me that she just wanted to get a rents to the Yungblud show because they might see other people like her.
Yeah.
So she said she saved up her cash and got good grades, so the parents had no choice but to go there. And then they saw other kids like her. They saw the sheer reluctance to be anything other than exactly who or what we are or what we want to be. And they accepted her as the baby daughter. And that is the power of a community. And I wanted this album, and especially that song, to radiate the idea that Yungblud isn't me. Yungblud is us. Yungblud is we. I haven't done anything. We have done everything.
Yeah. How do you then, I think for a lot of the folks in your community, they would see you as being almost a deity and the one that is leading the charge. How do you take that responsibility on? How do you realize you are the leader of this cult?
It's so funny when people say that because it kind of makes me go like, you know what I mean? I kind of like, it's so interesting. Like, I almost see if we were a crowd and we were walking, I wouldn't be at the front. I'd be right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like with it,
Yeah.
I hate being on stage. I want to be in the crowd. I wish I could like have a little podium in the middle of the crowd. You know what I mean? Once the venues get big enough, every Yungblud show's gonna be in the fucking round. You know what I mean? It's like someone said to me yesterday, it's like, what does it feel like to be a voice of a generation? I was like, I'm not a voice of a generation. I'm a voice in a generation.
Yeah. I feel you. I really feel that. That really makes a lot of sense. There's one lyric before we finish up that I want to ask you about. It's in Charity. You say to be free is what it means to be successful. Of course, you don't say that. You fucking scream it in my face.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I do.
yeah, you fucking do.
Yeah.
I mean, that lyric sums it up, doesn't it? To be your true
Yeah.
self and to bring this crew of fans and folks that are in your community to the front. That is what success is to you, right, Dom?
It is, and that's legitimately really 100% it. It's like you can have everything in the world and not be who you are, and that makes you a slave. If you are completely free, you could have no shirt on your back, but if you are completely yourself and know what you want and accepted for who you are, then you could have nothing on your back, but you would be free because you are yourself. You have no ties. No one is holding you down. This record is about being proud, about being who you are, no matter what you are, no matter if you don't know yet. Just love yourself and love everyone around you as much as you possibly can.
Yungblud, you changed my life in more ways than one, and I thank you for continuing to do that.
Sir. You're the first one. You're the first one, Nick Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you for praying towards me. I
love
no
you,
worries.
Namaste.
Love you, Dom. I'll talk to you soon, my man. Lots of love. Congratulations.
Thank you for everything. Love you.